Man, it was a hell of a weekend, and it has been a hell of a day for sure over here because, goddamn, we should have had a snow day. Or at least I should have. But shit hits the fan, and now I'd accept a snow day tomorrow, but who knows. But, the weekend was great. This weekend was one of the best sports weekends of all time in my book because let me just start off from the top from Saturday. Saturday we had two back-to-back college basketball bangers with the top four teams in the nation. Arizona Houston was great. It felt like a classic. Arizona was going off. Arizona was like starting point guard or whatever, went off crazy, and then he tweaked his ankle really badly. But Arizona Houston was a fun game until Houston couldn't make a field goal to make their for crap. They couldn't make a point. They couldn't make they couldn't make a point that wasn't free throw for like 10 minutes straight in the second half when things were feeling really good. And that's what won Arizona the game because Arizona, man, like, of course March Madness is going to happen. And the last time they were up this big, they lost to Princeton. But Arizona, man, they're legit. And Houston, they got some good stuff going on too. So Arizona got a really good win. And then we had Michigan and Duke, which was even better than Arizona and Houston because it was just matched neck to neck. Like, these were just two heavyweights fighting it out, and it felt like a March Madness game because it was in Washington, D.C. Now, would it have been better if it was in the Cameron Indoor Stadium? Absolutely. But when March is right around the corner and you have these two teams facing, it's almost like you're all right with it. And this game was great. I mean, the guy who won Duke, especially that game, was Cameron Boozer. There was one play where somebody shot up a three for Duke, and there were three guys on it, and then Cameron Boozer comes out of nowhere and gets the ball. And then later in the game, Cameron Boozer shoots the game-winning three. So, like, I mean, if he's not a top 3 draft pick, then I don't know what these GMs are smoking on because he is one of those guys. And if it was like last year or something, he would have been the number 1 pick. But in a year of AJ DeBantzas and Darren Peterson's, he's the 3rd best prospect. And I'll get to that in a second, but in our video. But Duke and Michigan was a great game. Michigan deserves respect, but they're a young team. They're a young team who is great at all means, but they're young. That's how we'll put it. And then Rockets and Knicks, which looked like it was just going to be, it looked like the Rockets pulled away with it. It looked like it was over, but then Jalen Brunson finally locked in after scoring 2 points in the first half. Realized that he bet on himself in Vegas and just locked the freak in. And, he rallied his team. He rallied his troops. Alvarado, that trade panned off that night. And the Rockets, the Rockets blew it. Even though the Rockets blew it, the funniest thing of the night was ESPN talking about KD having his burner leaked. That was the funniest thing that's top 5, one of the funniest things that I've seen all year. And then we had Iowa State versus BYU, which was a calm game because BYU had it in the bag, but AJ Mansa went off. This guy has been playing the full 40 minutes for like the last 30, for the last three games. He's been doing that, and I mean, he's just amazing, and I feel like he's the number 1 prospect based on that. But if you need a guard, you draft Darren Peterson. If you need a forward, you get AJ DeBanza. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. And then And then we have, on Sunday, Cavs played the Thunder, and they got freaking killed. They got freaking demolished in the first quarter. And then they tried to fight back, but they lost anyway. And when you lose that bad, or you get got that bad so early in the game, and they don't have their two of their like best players like Shea and Jalen Williams, like, you need to lock in. If we meet this team, if we go to the finals and we meet this team, you need to be on your freaking A game. Because, like, every time we play them, Donovan Mitchell has been got every single time. Everybody's been getting got. So, also, screw Daryl Morey for giving the Thunder Jared McCain, because trust the process, he said. Rubbish. You could have built something with him, man. I mean, you had Tyrese Maxey, you had VJ Kambe, and, like, you do this? Really? You had a great young core, but you threw it all away just so OKC could have another young prophet. What a joke. And then we had Nuggets Warriors, which I wasn't really watching, but I wonder when Steph's going to return, and somehow pods went off, which that is funny as hell. I wonder how Melo's feeling about that. But I was watching the NASCAR race, and I'll tell you this. NASCAR it's interesting. It's fun. And I'm planning on watching it weekly, but NASCAR season has been great so far. I mean, Tyler Reddick, it'd be funny if he went back to back to back like Michael did, but we'll see. It'd be hilarious. But that's my whole weekend. It was a really fun sports weekend. Really has re-engaged my love for sports and everything about it. I can't wait for March Madness. I can't wait for the NFL draft, the NBA draft, finals. Heck, I'll watch some MLB maybe. Hockey playoffs, World Cup. I mean, it's just going to be a great sports year, even with all the crap in the world. And now it makes me remember USA beat Canada in hockey. And that's just an all-timer moment. And, the God Row tribute was great. It was all great. And then they partied with him. But that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to get myself politically mad. But that's it. And yeah, that's it. Bye.